I guess I'd like to call up to the microphone Jonathan Williams and Steve Perlman, who are here tonight representing, up there you are. You're over here before. Representing the Union County Improvement Authority. But they're here tonight to update us on an exciting project that the county and that this Board of Chosen Freeholders has authorized and the Improvement Authority to move ahead on. And that's a solar project which municipalities will be able to avail themselves of free of charge. And in essence, it's a program which will allow municipalities to install solar panels on their municipally owned buildings at no cost. It turns out that with the energy incentives at the federal government, it's much more enticing to have private companies come in, and the Improvement Authority has been working hard to put this project together to be able to offer it this fall to our municipalities. And Jonathan and Steve, turn it over to you to give us the details of where we are in this project. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. Hi, Steve Perlman here from the Dakotas Firm of Counsel to the County Improvement Authority. Thank you for the opportunity. My partner, Jonathan Williams, and I are here to discuss how the county can help assist in the governor's energy master plan, which is called for a 30% renewable energy program by 2020, which is truly a tremendous undertaking. And the county, doing its part, has looked in, through the Improvement Authority, has looked into how it can help municipalities and school districts and other local governments, local authorities, and of course the county itself, by providing renewable energy programs at the lowest cost possible. And what we found is that the existing alternatives out there are either bonding, which means debt, or the private sector will come in and do turnkey projects at a profit for the private sector. What we looked into is whether or not we could take the advantages of both and put them together through a hybrid program and get a better product for, in effect, your clients, which are the towns and school districts in the county. And what we found out was that the private sector can take advantage, as the manager mentioned, of certain federal tax benefits by doing solar programs. There's a 30% investment tax credit, there's advanced depreciation, and those benefits can't be taken advantage of by governments directly because you don't pay taxes. But the private sector, when they finance these kinds of solar projects, can take advantage. So the question is, how can you take lower cost of money that governments can provide through their ability to bond and combine that with the private sector's ability to take advantage of the federal tax credits, all with the goal of hopefully providing a lower cost to municipalities and school districts. And what we've done is we've come up with a hybrid program that would allow the Improvement Authority to issue debt, guaranteed by the county to get the lowest cost of capital, finance solar projects for as many interested municipalities and school districts as are out there in the county. Of course, that's step one. Let's go out and find them. And then what would happen is the Improvement Authority would own the solar panels. They'd have a license agreement with the schools and the towns to get on their roofs. The Improvement Authority would own them, and they would turn them over to the private sector and allow the private sector as tax owner to take advantage of the federal tax benefits. All of that happens through a series of agreements, and here's the important part. The price that the private sector, now the leasehold owner of the solar panels, would be less than what the existing school districts and towns are paying today. If that's not the case, there's no project. And you put the onus on the private sector to pay back the debt. So when the manager mentioned that there's no cost to the towns and the school districts, what he's saying is there is a cost, but it's paid by the private sector. And net of all that, because they can take advantage of the federal tax benefits, they can still pay the debt service on the bonds, earn a fair return, and charge the locals a price lower than what they're paying through their existing utility rate. That's the program. What you've done, or what you hopefully will do tonight, is enter into a service agreement with the authority to get them started. We will authorize some seed money for the Improvement Authority through a bond ordinance that will allow the Improvement Authority to go out and hire an energy consulting team, because someone has to go out and check roofs and make sure that the interest of the local towns and school districts meets the requirements of the program. And once that happens, you put together one or more pools where you have a series of local units, and you go out to the market the state does not allow you to negotiate, so you have to pick your solar developer through a competitive process, and there will be an RFP process, and they will come in and bid on a large amalgam of buildings, and the private sector likes the fact that you can put together a large swath of buildings, because the larger the number of roofs, the more revenue that they can take in, and the better price they can offer to your towns and school districts. So that's the program at its essence. We will be back to you when we have the size of the first program ready to go out, because we'll need your benefit of that county guarantee to issue that first set of bonds. I think the most important thing for the county doing its job is watching out for the county taxpayers is the money that you fund will be repaid when the bonds are issued. That will be one of the costs of the program. And if you think about it, the private sector is paying a little bit of administrative cost to take advantage of your lower cost of capital. It's worth it to them. And in the end, net, they will produce a better rate. And that's the program. And the good thing about it is if the theory doesn't translate into practice, the bonds are never issued. But we've brought this program now to a couple other counties. They seem to be very satisfied. We're in the middle of the first actual RFP process in one of those other counties, so I get the sense, because I've been asked a lot of questions from a lot of other counties, they're very interested in that bid process, and we'll certainly give an update as that process is through to see if we can in fact do all that we're looking to do, which is provide green at a lower cost to all of your school districts and towns in the county, so at least the ones that are interested. That, we have to take any questions?
Good, yeah. Steve, thank you. Jonathan, thank you. Is there any questions for the freeholders? No? Yeah, go ahead, freeholders.
I'd just like to make a comment, and that is that when this was first presented to us, I was so happy about the idea, because the concept of helping our schools and saving money for our towns is just, it's what government is supposed to do. And so I was very pleased to hear about the program, certainly going to support it, and I thank you gentlemen very much for bringing it to us.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Freeholder. Mr. Chairman, I did want to just add that we will start the program off by doing a mailing and a series of hosted events for interested municipalities and school boards to come in and hear a more detailed presentation of how this would work and how much energy savings they could anticipate realizing through the program, recognizing that we have to examine their buildings and their eligibility. But those mailings and those meetings will go out almost immediately. As you know from your agenda, there are 2 ordinances that are being introduced tonight. There will be public hearings, obviously, on those ordinances, I think in October, and we'll be back to answer questions that night as well. But we're going to get the ball rolling with everyone's permission to at least start to find out which municipalities and which school boards and which county buildings and county properties, and I might add, it's not just rooftops, it's public property generally that can be utilized for this purpose, these solar arrays. So we'll be back before you soon, and thank you very much for the opportunity tonight. Yeah, thank you. Thanks to both you guys.
Thank you very much.
And I think I agree with Freeholder Scanlon. It's certainly something, when it was brought to this board to set up this presentation, was something we all looked at as a tremendous opportunity to lower energy costs for municipalities, school districts, and ourselves at the county. So I really feel good about this. It certainly is something we're all interested in, trying to lower our costs to government and our residents. Okay, so thank you all.